We'll get started here in just a few minutes. Good morning. Everyone can hear me all right? All right, we'll get started here shortly. Let me try to get Steven in here as well.
Hey, good morning.
Hey.
Hey, you guys, you can hear me okay?
Yep.
Good. What's up, guys? What's up, Edstock? Carlos? What's up, Bill?
All right, everyone. Good morning. Morning, everyone. Welcome back to live trading. If this is your first time on live trading, welcome. We use the webinars channel in Slack to communicate. What a crazy market it's been. There's been massive, multi-million-dollar opportunities in this market for those that are active and those that are around. So let's kind of first start with that. So this was my watch list on Monday. So on Monday, I said, and this was at 4:49 a.m. on Monday. So let's go to 4:49 a.m. on Monday. Okay. So 4:49 a.m. was somewhere around here when SPY was at 488. So what I said is this. I said, just like we look for 3 days of parabolic upside on small caps for a short, we are looking for the same thing in reverse today for large caps. Long-term investments. Day 3 of another gap down in the overall market indexes. Fear is dominating the sentiment. Traders are pricing in 5 rate cuts this year. These are very, very difficult markets to be trading in. This is not investment advice, but I'm looking to buy stocks for long-term holds for at least 1 year out. Do not do the same if you're not okay with pain and patience. I'm looking to buy SPY, QQQ, NVIDIA, Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Meta, Google, Tesla, all at the open for long-term investments. Now, what happened there? So, let's talk. SPY is up, crazy. Just yesterday, it went up 10%. You have something like NVIDIA that was $90, now is $110. Amazon that was, 163, now 180. So all of these stocks that we look to buy for long-term investments on Monday ended up bouncing 10 to 20%. So we're all up 10 or 20% on all of these long-term moves, which is great. Now, let's kind of talk about what happened in the markets yesterday. So, unless you were living under a rock, one sec. Unless you were living under a rock, there was news that came out on the S&P 500. News came out that Trump is delaying the tariffs for 90 days for everyone except China. Okay? So, what does that mean? That means that the market went straight freaking up, right? Straight up. So, yesterday was the largest gain in stock market history, I'm pretty sure. The largest single intraday gain in stock market history. I'm sure a lot of people knew that the news was coming out. I'm sure a lot of people had insider information. I am sure, right? One second. And the craziest part is that I think it was like 2 hours before Trump put out a tweet saying it's a good time to buy, right? This fucking guy said it's a good time to buy, and I can't believe it, man. You really can't make this shit up, dude. You can't make this shit up. So, what does this mean for the markets? What does this mean for trading? What does it mean for everything? Well, remember if you were on yesterday's live trading session, we mentioned that there's a lot of issues happening with bonds. It seems like the Chinese are selling U.S. bonds, causing the rates to go crazy. And I think that, once Trump's advisors started to, kind of tap him on the shoulder and be like, hey, listen, Trump, you can do whatever the hell you want, but once they start screwing with our treasuries, that's some of the things that we can't kind of back off from. So yeah, it was rumored to be the Japanese. It could be the Japanese, it could be the Chinese, it could be my grandma. It doesn't matter who it is, but someone put enough pressure on the treasury markets to have Trump kind of back down from whatever the hell he was saying and whatever the hell he was doing, right? So what does that mean for us? Well, the fact that the markets are moving so aggressively and so dramatically, right, means that there is going to be so many opportunities. There's going to be so many opportunities for us to make money on the long side, on the short side. Doesn't matter what is going on here. So the main thing to recognize is, okay, first things first is our long-term investment buys that we made on Monday are very, very, very heavily in the green, right? So that's really good, right? I know a lot of people, got in on the markets, and that's great, and it's always scary in the moment, but when the market is panicking, that is the best time to start buying. And obviously, I'm not an investment advisor. I'm not an expert. I just do what I do, and I try to share what I do. It's not always the right move, but it's the move that I'm taking. So that's kind of the overall markets. The overall markets, I think, will probably have a little bit more stability in the short term. I think that the overall markets will, be up and down a little bit, but in terms of the panic, in terms of Black Monday, in terms of a market crash, I think so far in the short term we have survived that. And if you look at this daily candle on the S&P 500, that is what we call Yoda's lightsaber. That is Yoda's lightsaber on the candle, right? So the reality is, Trump did the right thing. You could say that he was manipulating the markets. You could say that this was his plan the entire time. And maybe, but it all goes back to the same fact of he's been using these tariffs as a negotiation tactic. And now it's very clear that that's his plan. And now we have a couple more catalysts coming. So we may see a catalyst of China making a deal. We may see a catalyst of other countries delaying their tariffs and whatnot. So I think at least in the short term, the news flow is going to be dominated by more positive news rather than more negative news. And I think that that's very, very important as well. So, yeah, that's it. So let's get started with the watch list here. Or do you guys have any questions or on the overall markets before I continue to the watch list? All right, so let's get to the watch list. So, as you guys know, the way that we build the watch list is we always go to the previous day's watch list first. So my watch lists have been mostly dominated by the large cap stocks. So I'm going to be focusing on the small cap stocks, obviously. So let's start there. WORX, penny stock, not really interested. MBOT, not much range. PHIO, not much range. Next, Vero. Vero had an offering, I suppose. So they had an offering, so that's pretty much done for. Let's see. HYFM. Kind of low volume. KTTA. KTTA is the current hot stock of the day. So let me actually just make this. So I got a new video out too. What do you guys think of that new video? So KTTA looking like the hot stock of the day. Most likely ignoring the short on this. Unless we see a major death candle under 180 and fail to bounce. Next is PRFX. PRFX was broken pre-market, now it's kind of coming back. PRFX, broken pre-market, now slowly coming back. We'll watch to see if pre-market high day rejects on this. For scalp short, we're waiting for more information. ELAB. ELAB, I see 530 resistance, so in a perfect world, we get a bounce towards 530 and fail. 530 resistance. Ilya bounce toward there and fail to scalp short. What else is moving today? WHLR. WHLR, big move down. Yeah, I would love a bounce towards 5. I think 455, 550. WHLR. Bounce toward 450, 550 to short. What else is out there? That's pretty much it. ICCT is pretty much an ignore. ICCT, this stock doesn't die. This stock doesn't die. So most likely ignoring this. So that's pretty much the watches today, guys. Gonna get back to small caps today. And yeah, so I'm gonna pass the baton over to Steven, and I'll let Steven take it from here. So Steven, the floor is yours, man.
Sure thing. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like, Alex, you summed everything up pretty well. I mean, I personally was obviously pretty happy to see just a little more stability, hopefully come in from now on into my long-term holds and everyone else's. So, yeah, I think your guidance and your watch list lately on what was going on in the overall market have been absolutely amazing. I mean, your entries, everything was just on point and amazing. So huge kudos to you for that. And I think we all appreciate your guidance on that for sure. So today, I want to kind of talk about overcoming obstacles. And I've written some stuff out again, and I want to share it. And then I want you guys to kind of chime in, let me know what you think, or if you have any questions, then I'll post some more thoughts on it after. So, overcoming your obstacles. So I wanted to kind of talk about some main obstacles that I see, DMs and trader calls I have, and just members in general, things that. So the first one is trading bigger size than members should. Yesterday I went into a lot of detail on this, so I'm not going to keep harping on this. But this is a huge one. So generally, keep it small until you could prove a couple months of consistency, right? Another big one I see is not using proper risk management. That's a huge one. Not properly planning each trade, another big one. And in general, emotions, fear, greed, ego, etc. That's a big one. And last is process issues. Finding a setup that fits your personality, sizing, and adding to winners are just a few. Process issues, like, I don't know, I feel like for most traders, maybe some of you disagree, but I feel like for most traders, the emotions and the other kind of psychological obstacles are tougher than the process issues, because the truth is, MIC has a bunch of really great setups. You can go to the video library, you can see, several examples. And sorry?
No, I just coughed, sorry.
Oh, thought I heard. You can see several examples of different setups. You can watch hundreds of videos on them. So you could ask questions, you could jump on a call with a moderator anytime, you could ask the community. So I feel like process issues, just the nuts and bolts of it are a little bit easier, or I see less obstacles there than I do on the psychological and emotional side. And just some of the process issues that I see are more related to not having proper plans, etc. But once you've got all that down, like if your setup is first resistance or first bounce, whatever it is, I feel like that stuff is usually a little easier to work out from what I see. So I kind of put that one last, but I do know that sizing and adding to winners are a big one, and we've been working with a lot of members on that lately. So I'm going to post just what I kind of recommend that we do about it, some of these issues, and then we could kind of talk about it. And feel free, if you guys, like I said, if you have any questions or if you guys want to add anything, any obstacles that you've had, feel free to write it out, and we could kind of talk about it. And once I'm done with this, I'll go back through it. So what to do about it? If you're trading too big, obviously, we talked about this yesterday, size down, keep it small until you have a couple months of proven results. Simple, really simple, but most new traders don't do it, right? That's usually the problem. So, like I keep saying, you can learn the hard way, by losing more than you wanted to for longer than you planned to. Or you can just size down and keep it small. I mean, I know a lot of members who went the right last week, but there's been a lot. There's a lot of members that started the right way, and they're seeing a lot of success because of it. You know, there's a learning curve in trading, and the idea is we've got to survive that learning curve. You're not going to usually make money on day one. You've got to learn the basics, right? Risk management. We've got a risk management plan. I'm going to post it here. Feel free to download it and go through it, follow it. Here it is. But the general gist is, you know, hard stops, max daily losses, and max shares with your broker. If you've made the switch to Cobra, you know, I believe, I could be wrong. I mean, my account started with the max daily loss. I'm messaging them to adjust it. But I think, and I've heard, and I've experienced that accounts are starting with one, so you should message them to get it adjusted. If you don't have it set up, definitely get it set up.
So every account at Cobra,
planning.
Steve, comes with max size, max loss, and auto liquidation automatically plugged in.
Perfect. Yeah, and I mean, that's the way it should be, right? So if you've got a broker that is not giving you a max daily loss or these parameters, I recommend you switch brokers right away. If you have the ability to adjust your own parameters during the same day, I recommend you switch brokers right away. That's just my recommendation. It doesn't make any sense to me that you can, I mean, it's not really a max daily loss if you could adjust it, right? Or it doesn't really make a lot of sense. So discipline workshop is one that we talk about a lot. You know, we've got a discipline workshop. It's coming up on 3 years, surprisingly. We help with proper planning. You get a calendar. You get a calendar win every day that you stick to your plan, regardless of your P&L. It works as a huge tab group. Everybody in there is looking out for each specific moderator or workshop graduate to review. Just tag us. Next, emotions. What I recommend for this is tough one. A lot of you know, members have this issue. I know I sure did for a long time. What I recommend for this is focus on your trading plans with small size until you're able to get the emotions out. So usually, if you're like trading and you're stressed out and you're, you know, watching your P&L and you're sweating, I mean, probably your size then too big, right? You know, so you don't want to be sized in with nothing or one share necessarily when you've been trading a while, because you need to have a feel for what trading is, right? You don't want to paper trade for too long. But, you know, usually if I mean, you know, it's kind of funny. Like I told my story before, but I used to have AFib, atrial fibrillation, right? And like 8 or 9 years ago, I had a small surgery, and they hopefully, knock on wood, fixed it. But I remember the first couple weeks I was trading, which was also around the same time. I started like I went into AFib. I was like sweating and my heart was pounding, you know what I mean? And it was like skipping. And I'm like, I can't trade. Like, this is too much, you know? It's not gonna work. So what I did to fix that was size down, obviously, and you know, get to a level that I'm comfortable trading. And then I just had full plans. And nowadays, I never get nervous. My wife watches me trade, and she's usually the one like excited. And I'm like, you know, like everyday thing for me. I think the thing that helps is just really having a plan with size with, and just worrying about executing the plan properly. You know, I don't worry about, am I going to win the trade? Am I going to lose the trade? Is this going to happen? I don't think about all these scenarios. I have everything planned out, and I don't need to come up with anything on the fly, right? I thought about it. I planned it when I was in control before the trade happened. And now I'm just executing like an algo. That's all I need to do. I don't need to have any emotions or think too much about it or have any stress about it. So that helped me. And I did have a lot of members. I told the story before, but I had a lot of members who had similar issues, still do. They get really nervous when they're in trades. And usually when they size down and they just have full plans, it usually helps a lot. So I would definitely recommend that. And then the process issues, right? The last one on here. We've got a lot of resources in MIC to help. So we've got obviously these live trades that you're listening to now. Main trading chat is a huge resource. You know, you've got a lot of great traders in there. Bao, Tom, James, all the moderators are in there all day giving lessons. And you need to really be going through there and reading all the lessons, watching them trade, you know, throughout the day. I can't stress enough how important it is to go through that. Video library, obviously, we've got thousands of videos on anything you could imagine. Just search it and you'll find that topic. We have a lot of other webinars. I know Clau and Harry started doing a large cap webinar on Sundays. And then last but not least, obviously, ask for help. You can ask the entire community anything in after hours. You could ask to have a call or any general questions in the new member one-on-one mentoring channel. And if you're a platinum member, you could do the same in the platinum member one-on-one mentoring channel. So we're all here for you. We've got, you know, more than 2,000 members. I think we've got 25 plus moderators, a lot of Discipline Workshop graduates. So all you guys need to do is ask for help. So yeah, if you guys have any other questions, we've got about 2 minutes.
Yeah, and I see this ELAB bouncing back up, Steve. If this kind of breaks out, I would start to avoid it because it looks like it's probably getting some attention. Also, one more thing, guys. We have a big promo with Cobra Trading going on right now. It is the broker that I am using for live trading and that all of our team is using. If you open up an account, you're going to get 30 days free commissions, 30 days free platform, 60 days live trading access, and the chance to come to the New York Stock Exchange with me. So 10 people are going to come to the Stock Exchange with me. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It's going to be awesome. We are no longer recommending Success Trader. I am actually meeting with them this weekend to finalize some details about announcements. So probably expect within the next coming days a formal announcement that we are no longer recommending Success Trader. One of the main reasons is they are not matching the rates of Cobra. Cobra is 25% cheaper. So for every $10,000, you save $2,500, which is massive. And they are unwilling to adjust that. And there's also some other issues which I'm waiting for more information to announce. But I closed my account. I'm not using them anymore. I highly suggest you guys move over to Cobra. And we probably plan on having a very long multi-year relationship with them because they've been treating our members right. They've been doing everything right on the risk end. And that's pretty much it. So this is the info for that promo. And we'll get started here live trading in just a second. So I think that's it. I'm going to wrap up the YouTube live stream here. And we will continue the live stream for MIC members. So let's see if we get this WHLR to bounce. And that's it. Market show.